Hey guys, and welcome to Did You Know Gaming. Did you know there are other seasons of Power Rangers outside of just Mighty Morphin? I know, it's crazy. Almost like it's a 30-year-old franchise based on another franchise that's almost 50 years old with plenty of variety in designs, characters, and stories. And it keeps coming back to Mighty Morphin. Sometimes I hate nostalgia. I don't want to remember it, Doug. In 2019, Hasbro announced they had bought Power Rangers and started their tenure out very well with the well-loved Beast Morphers. And then a few years later, announced they were scrapping the show for a Mighty Morphin reboot, and then auctioning off a ton of props, costumes, and such without properly informing the actors. See, Transformers fans, it's not just you who hates Hasbro. It's a shame because say what you will about Power Rangers and how it compares to Super Sentai and whether or not it's a good adaptation, etc., it had a fan base. And a very devout one at that. And I can't help but feel like Hasbro and other companies' reliance on Mighty Morphin has been hurting the brand in the long run. Like, guys, there were other series, like Lost Galaxy. Lost Galaxy was my favorite series growing up. Adapted from Seiju Sentai Gingamon, the plot was essentially Star Trek Voyager, but without the war crimes, mixed in with a bit of Starship Troopers. Quite literally sometimes with the reused props. It was a lot of fun, had a lot of surprising drama, and great characters. But most importantly, it had a really cool robot, and with a really cool robot comes a really cool toy. Now, I mentioned Bandai's DX Robo toys before in my G1 Devastator video, and essentially, they re-released them for America with this deluxe Megazord set. It's only fitting to show it off, especially because it fills my talk about non-Transformers related toys quota for the season. Though technically there are robots that transform, and Hasbro owns the rights now. Red Line! Aw, now ain't you a cutie? Piloted by Red Ranger Leo, we have the Red Galactabeast, and I totally remember they were called the Galactabeast and didn't have to look it up again while writing this video. An adorable little scamp with big broad shoulders. Now the thing to note about DX Robos is that they were all about the big robots, so unfortunately, there's usually not as much thought put into the little guys. But the Red Line has a bit more movement than most. He has knee joints for one, and his arms and legs do have joints. They can't extend outwards, but look at him sit. Marvelous. And he can roar with power and even stand on his hind legs, because yes, this guy has die-cast metal in his legs. I don't think he ever used the sword like this in the actual show, which is a shame because it would have been hilarious. And speaking of hilarious, did you know that the Green Ranger equivalent in Gingamon has a canonical fear of tomatoes? Absolutely true. The Blue Gorilla is up next, piloted from Archie from CSI. Get a load of this monkey. Dude is a big square with all torso, rocking a pair of pristine octagonal gaganzos. Is gaganzo a real word? I don't care. I particularly love the jewels on his knees, like who else would do that? Arms do have articulation, but legs, sadly no. If you look, they're essentially rails for the transformation with no actual joints, which is a bit of a shame. Bro can only stand there waving his arms. Piloted by Green Ranger Damon, who sadly has no problems with tomatoes, we have the Condor Galactabeast, and he's definitely the best figure so far, packing arms, legs, ankle, and head articulation. That only goes 90 degrees, but hey, it's still something. The Green Condor has a great Japanese beast look that feels oddly more 80s than 90s to me. Like, by the 90s, most shows with mechs were trying to move away from the geometric-shaped mechs, but it seems Sentai stuck to it for a while longer. I love the giant yellow V on the back of his die-cast metal body. And he actually has a gimmick compared to the other two. Pull his tail and his body flexes because in the show, it could be used as a crossbow. Nice. The Yellow Wolf doesn't fare as well, sadly. Like, it looks cute and I dig the giant triangles on her shoulders, but the articulation is a lot more limp. And with no ankle articulation, you won't get much of a different pose. But you can do this with its mouth. Also, at least it's piloted by the topless girl from Not Another Teen Movie. The Pink Cat is honestly so similar, I could just reuse the same script for the Yellow Wolf. Like, it looks cute and I dig the giant circles on her shoulders, but the articulation is a lot more limp. And with no ankle articulation, you won't get much of a different pose. But you can do this with its mouth. Also, at least it's piloted by the girl who dies in the show because the actress had leukemia. But enough lazy reuse of audio, let's put them all together. Oh yeah, this is beautiful. The combination feels really nice. Everything just moves super smoothly and gives a big meaty chunk as it combines. And this robot, man. I love the original Mighty Morphin Megazord as much as the next guy. It looks really nice, but I'm sorry, this guy clears it. Like, I love the way all the colors are balanced on him. Nothing feels overdone. If I hear mystical alien robot, this is the kind of lad I expect. Dig those Viking horns, that gorilla in his tummy, and the giant golden V like it's 1983. Again, it feels like a last of the 80s mecha style, because come later on, a lot of Sentai mechs started to get more rounded and started experimenting with their designs a bit. Understandable, as toys have changed, you want to make something that can move a bit more, but there's still a little charm to this old boxy brown, even if the articulation is limited to the arms, and just the arms. Like, I have G1 Transformers with more articulation, and some with less. So not a lot of posing can be done. But look at him! He's a big chunky boy! He doesn't need to go anywhere. Bro looks and feels like a presence with all that metal in him. He feels like you're getting your money's worth. And I also love how the Condor can be detached to form a gun for him. It's hard to explain. He's limited, but he's also fun. No other way of putting it. He's great for a kid's toy and great as a collector's piece. Are there better combining mech out there? Absolutely. The Titan combiners like Predaking, which of course are bigger and have individual transformers. Note to self, review this guy sometime. There's stuff like the legendary Defender Voltron, which is way more articulated, and even in Bandai's DX Robo line, there's stuff like DX Magic King, who is not only more technically impressive, boasting a dragon mode as well, but offering better articulation as well. And hell, they actually released a new version of this guy not too long ago, complete with modern articulation that I didn't find out about until after I started writing this. But I don't care. I swear I don't. But I like this guy. Just a big square lad standing strong. Could he have used some more articulation? Probably. Megazord toys, or Sentai mechs, or whatever you want to call them, fulfill that primal urge to take several toys and combine them into one. It's that feeling of eureka, like when man first combined stick with rock to form an axe. So too am I when I combine these robots together. And much like combiner transformers, I can't help but be lured towards them. Like, I know they'll be limited in terms of movement, I know they'll probably not stick on super well, but I just can't help myself. But hey, at least you got them all in one package. It's not like some toys, you gotta wait months for the next wave, if you can find it. So tell me, what's your favorite season of Power Rangers, or even your favorite Megazord? Let me know in the comments, and please subscribe. It's that feeling of eureka. It's that feeling... Eureka? Isn't that the kid from the Backyardigans? So tell me, what's your favorite season of Transformers? No. Wrong show. Yeah, I know it's a pretty simple review, nothing all that fancy. But guys, trust me on this. I needed something simple. Why? Because next week is this thing.